Next, we're going to be talking about the transforming an ER diagram. So, last time we talked about just ER diagrams, how to create them. Transforming an ER diagram into a relational database model is basically the key step in designing secure and well structured systems like user access control and event logging. There are usually four steps, step by step rules in creating an ER, transforming an ER diagram. So each strong entity always becomes a table. Attributes become columns, and then the primary key is underlined. So with those two steps, you cannot go ahead. You can't compose and transform an ER diagram without a primary key being clear and the attributes being set up in column. Next, one to n relationships, which is the foreign key, always goes to the many side. Always. M to M, many to none relationships always create a new associative table. So basically, if we have like user ID, username, role, whatever, you have a device, login. You could create a user table. You will create the device table, and for many to many relationship, you will use a login table. So transformation, and basically why this is so important is transformation in the structure basically prevents data duplication. It makes it easier to enforce control. It supports normalization, and it just allows for better performance. And it also enables that, of course, the relationships can be queried or secure. Um, so to recap, you always have to convert each entity to a table. Always include the primary and foreign keys. Um, if we go up, speaking about primary keys, if you don't remember, most of the time, so primary keys are basically is a column or a set of columns that uniquely identifies each row in the table. The characteristics of a primary key are that they are unique. Um, every row must have a value for a primary key. It has to. If it doesn't, it's not gonna work. Um, Now a foreign key is a bit different. So it's still a column in one table that references the primary key of another table. It creates the relationship basically between the two, and kind of in a sense the foreign key kind of values must match an existing primary key in the reference table, or that it won't work. So basically, if you have all of those steps, you can just it kind of just makes it easier to view information. It condenses it into a more structured system so that the data can be however the data needs to be um just written, or how it needs to be composed. It needs to be clear, or else it won't make sense. So the transforming an ER diagram is different than creating it. When you create it, you're getting all the data together, you're putting it in each column, but when you transform it, you're basically changing a structure in a easier way for both parties or whoever is using it. So again, primary key identifies the row, main table, foreign key identifies and connects to another primary key. Um, that's that.